Hey people, wasn't planning making this video. I wasn't really planning to do much about this at all. I think it really needs done though. As you can sort of tell, this video series, as it were, is called I'm Okay. And it's going to be dealing with my depression, where it's been, what's happening. Not a poor old me video, but to help myself and anyone else who might have it or is suffering from it to feel better about their life. Because, well, this year has been a very trying one, and how I'm not on meds is a wonder. Depression is a very ugly word. People don't like using it. Um, I've come across so many different ways people have said he's depressed. He's having a bad day. Oh, he's not coping well. He's sad. No, depressed. They are fucking depressed. And people, because they associate with a goddamn fucking different word, because it's so taboo to talk about sometimes, and that might piss you off if you guys don't think it's taboo. It really is around where I am. I can't say I'm depressed to certain people because they're depressed or they can't deal with depression. I have been depressed for going on 2016, I would say. 2016, yeah, about that long. It's hard to really pinpoint a year because I left school in 2012. When college, no, I'd say 2014, really. I wasn't a good student. I wasn't. To give you a huge backstory upon myself and depression, so I can just justify the saying I am depressed. I started out obviously doing primary school, high school. I am dyslexic. That means dyslexic. I don't learn right. I'll misinterpret information. This is why reviews right now or things I do, it's very mishmash or like you'll obviously hear a cut somewhere because my brain just didn't translate out. Even doing this, I can tell I'm not saying things right or doing things right. Now, it doesn't mean I'm fucking dumb as hell, by all means. I have met people who are dyslexic and they are 10 times smarter than me. But it's someone I've got to live with. There's days where I could do the simplest thing by moving to the left when I'm meant to go to the right. That simple. It doesn't piss me off anymore. I used to when I was a kid, but not anymore. It's one of those things. It's like, Alistair, didn't we just say blah blah blah? And I'll be like, oh yeah, well, yeah. Sorry, I bloody did the opposite, or I done most of it. And that's the normal one I say. But I'll finish that up. Dyspraxia. I don't move right either. I can go through a door 100 times, but on the 101st time, I will clip that door. I've got bruises. I know it makes me look like a beaten husband, but hey ho. I've got bruises around like on my knee, my neck. Like there's a day where I came home, I had a massive black bruise on my leg because my brain was on autopilot, and I kept walking into a small table. And about the fourth or fifth time, I lost my crap. The boss heard me just screaming profoundly, going, she came through, what's wrong? I was like, my dyspraxia has made me walk into the same table 5 times. It's annoying me. I am sore, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna bruise. Wasn't kidding. Black bruise right around my thigh. So I grew up with that, and of course, high school is everyone else could say it's a cliquey, groupie. You're either in or out. You're a loner with a group or an house group. There's so many different things and blah blah blah. I got through high school with just what I needed. I had higher art. I had a geography higher. God knows how I got that. because I didn't attend geography half the time. I had like maths into and all that crap. I had just a bundle of grades, but no direction of what I wanted to do because it's never something that's really occurred to me. If you came up to me and said, Alistair, what do you want to do? I'll be like, I don't know. I'm just doing what I do on a daily basis just to get by. I went to college to pursue art because that was the best thing I had. That's the best thing I did. And thank God I developed some friends in there because fucking God knows what would happen. Because you know when you go to college and you know you're the odd one out amongst the people because they're all grouping together and you got the hip ones, you got the ones who have been best friends forever. I made 2 friends, luckily at that, who I still know to this day. And they kept me sane. They did. They really kept me really sane and grounded sometimes. I passed-ish the NQ and was told I had to diversify. Now, I don't know what that's posh speak for. You're not going to get to the HNC, go elsewhere. Or, hey, you're too good and we know what you really want to do. Take it for what you want. I'm probably the latter. I decided to travel down to Dundee to pursue my art into computer and animation. I got into HNC and moved down, and that is where I first noticed I had depression. It wasn't bad, it really wasn't, because I just had self-doubts and I would put myself down constantly about what I was able to do, what my value was. My self-worth, that's it. And that then started to seep through into my work. I do a simple thing of modeling a crappy rocket. And people are, oh, that's really good, that's really good. It's done the animations flying off. And I'll be like, it's crap, anyone can bloody do this. It's stupid. And that's when the voices started to become more louder in my head. That my self-worth was nothing. I am there by pure luck. I am worth nothing. And I ignored it, buried my head in the sand, and it got worse and worse. I scraped by into the H&D because it was HNC and D. They just funneled you in. If you hadn't completed HNC, they just funneled you in and said, hey, turn that in next year. Which, by the way, great way of learning, people. And that's, the H&D is where things started to really turn around. Now, irregardless was who was around in my life at this time and what I was doing, I had given up. The voices had won. I wasn't turning up to class half the time. I guarantee you people thought I'd left. And I'd wake up like at 1 o'clock, roll over, go, what the hell's the point? Play a game, sit up to like 3 a.m. in the morning and go to bed, do exactly the same thing the next day. The only time I would leave the house or the flat that I lived in was to go and get groceries, cook, or go elsewhere at the time to where people I knew. I then took some really regrettable actions upon how I tried to finish the HND. I was that far behind, and that inundated with all the years of work that I cut so many corners and actually took models, training models that we were getting given just to show how to do it. And I tried passing, like, modeling a few things. Like, it's almost like someone's taken the outline of, like, a character, recolored the hair and given them a few, like, crappy scars and that. It's my OC. It's like, that's effectively what I did to my lecture. I went, that's mine. It was just like, how did I expect to get away with that? But the voices in my head were telling me, you've got no choice. She's going to see right through it. You're crap anyway. She's just probably going to tell you failed. Nah. In between, it was what was my next move, which was go to the university. I applied for Abate. I got an interview for year two. No, I was trying to get into year two, but I got an interview for year one because my HND wasn't complete. I had modules, but that's it. I had only one or two of them. And they says, right, well, you can come to the year one. It's effectively HND. Work from hard from there. So my ass been in there on fire, and I should have had some form of pride, but I was broken. I had lied to get where I was. My depression had won and destroyed a chance to be higher and further on than what I was. And it wasn't until I got into like my first week of being in uni that the voice had gone from that dark voices telling me my self worth and all that had gone from telling me to singing at me. And here's where it all went wrong. I buried my head so hard in the sand for the first half of the year, because it only lasted half the year. I buried my head so hard that I wasn't want to talk to anyone. I wasn't want to do a damn thing. I wasn't even want to leave the flat. I was barely eating. I was getting very thin. And my folks who wanted to get SAS funding, which is how I would go through the course and funded my life and like that, turned to me and says, right, we need the paperwork filled out. We need to do this. We need to apply, etc., etc. I had led my folks on a merry loop chase. And come Christmas, I was told I was getting withdrawn out of the course. And that's when it all truly just hit hard. I then pursued the next half year, ducking my folks upon SAS, lying to them, just because like I started to hate myself because I had lied. And that I had let myself slip so hard, come out of the course, be so. I eventually applied for the HN to do the year one again, to where the interviewer just pulled me aside and said, right, you can't, you're not going to do it. Your mental health's not there. We can't allow you to redo this year. You're just not with it. You can't. And I just remember breaking down, and I mean properly breaking down, crying my eyes out, saying I disappointed so many people at that point. And that's okay, bravo to the guy for patting me on the back, telling me everything's going to be okay and that, but that's not what I needed to hear. I don't know what I needed to hear, to be honest, back at that point. But my health took a big turn. I wasn't eating full stop. I stopped eating. Panicking and worrying because I had to go back to my folks at the start of summer and tell them, listen, I led you on a merry good chase. I put you out $5,000 because they had to pay for the accommodation and all that. Also, was funding my food because I was taking the money and I was just pissing it away upon like hobbies. Well, I say hobbies. I was just buying boosters, not turning up to the clubs or that, and just because I believed I wasn't worth dick. I believed I wasn't worth the time, the effort. That my talents were just crap. I believed that so much that my self value and my self view was I didn't belong. I couldn't belong and I didn't need to exist. And it did come to one night where I was fed up and I thought it's best. Now, if I was on meds, this probably made me feel better, or I wouldn't have gone this far. If I talked to someone, maybe I wouldn't have gone the lengths I did. But this is a story about how burying your head didn't work, won't work, never will work. because your depression will win. It will break you eventually. You can't be the strongest thing in the world and not mentally go. I was so certain I had upset my family. That was a disappointment to anyone and everything. Everything in my life already started going left wise, with friendships and relationships. That I thought about ending. And I was going through all the ways that, I wasn't going to harm myself via that way because people would see it and then call for help. I didn't much fancy trying to restrain myself from a roof which wasn't bloody sturdy. I didn't drive, so where the hell am I going to go? Jumping off something isn't that great. I'm afraid of heights at great distances. So the only other option I had was whatever the hell was in my medicine cabinet. "10 minutes into me deciding that and gulping as much as I came down, I started getting panicky, worried, and I threw majority of that all back up. I had made myself very sick. I purged, whatever the hell you want to call that. All I knew, I wasn't well for the next couple of days. Either from side effects or by the fact I make myself throw up so much to the point where I was puking up stomach lining. I went home. That season I went home and it happened. I broke in front of my sister, told her every single thing, and then I was dragged in front of my folks, rolling from here to Timbuktu too, because, well, it ain't my family if we don't rollick someone for something. But I never let it on. It was my depression that led to this. I just said I was stupid. I never turned up. I was always sleeping more. I didn't care. And I didn't really want to do it anymore, and etc. And I lied to them about my depression. I didn't want to talk to them about it because I didn't want them worrying. I didn't want them to panic. And that wasn't okay. It wouldn't be until at least 4 or 5 years later, in a proper heated argument, and I mean screaming the place down between me and my mother. Now, me and my mom have got the best relationship. We love each other. She'll do anything for me, I'll do anything for her and all that. But something had just snapped that day. I don't know why I was grumpy or shit like that. But we were screaming at each other, like proper screaming. And it came out that the only reason why I failed was because of my depression and self-expectancies, etc. and all that. And then a massive detail like this to my mum. And then, yeah, that was all in the open. My mum and dad see that I'm okay. They're like me. They're like, you don't need meds. You're fine. All you need to do is just clear your head, do other things to occupy yourself, get things off your head, talk about it and all that. That works to a degree. There's going to be cases like any person who's watching this who is on meds, who's sitting there going, well, I need it to make myself mentally feel better because it's a chemical imbalance, blah, 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 blah. I just need to, in my folks' words, stop feeling sorry for myself. My folks have a beautiful way of putting it because it's not taboo to them. They'd rather not think of me as a depressed person. And I still am to this day. I mean, look at what's happened to me this year. I had to move because my folks uprooted and I lived with them at that point. 31, still live with my folks. I'm a great catch. I effectively had to move in with my fiance. My job sucks. And I had to fight for my goddamn contract, which I've still had to do for several months on end, trying to pin one of the managers down so they can actually give me a full-time contract. Christine lost her gran, which I had to be super strong for because I thought her ground was amazing. We are still suffering through turmoil of several other friendship and elements who are being affected by other people and trying to make sure they're okay. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Like, no offense, that's not a bad thing to anyone. If you're one of my close friends who knows me and has watched this, it's not a bad thing. I don't blame you guys for that. I just, like, there are certain elements beyond my friendship with you guys which they're arseholes and they're being arseholes. And we are always going to do the best to be there and all and make sure you guys are fine. And the final one is I lost my grandpa. So yeah, for me to say I'm on top of the world or I'm doing great this year, it would be disingenuous. I'm not doing okay. But that's why I'm doing these videos, to say I am okay. I will be okay. And anyone else who's suffering from depression or a bad day or a bad month or a bad year, you will be okay. It's not easy. It won't be easy. You're going to go through a lot of hard crap. And you're going to have to deal with a lot of crap. But it will be okay. What doesn't actually physically kill you, you will be okay. I've seen videos of people screaming matches about being chucked out of the house or people in turmoil across the place. And I've seen idiots this year coming out the woodworks screaming about all things on the news. But it doesn't affect me, so I'm going to be okay. That's stupid that I say that, but I am okay. I will be okay. What else I can really say other than that from this part of the video? I've given you the reason I talk about my past experience and how I've dealt with it is so people can see what I've been through. So I don't make this video and people call me out going, oh, well, you're a hack, you wouldn't know what it's like. I really do. I know what it's like for when your self-worth is so low that you think getting out of bed causes people problems. Just existing causes people problems. It's not a good place to be. It won't ever be a good place to be. Unless you're a masochist of some sort and like to think that all the time. Sorry, I'm just moving my foot. It's actually quite numb. The bottom line of this video is I'm making this to help myself, maybe, or maybe if I can actually reach out to anyone and make them feel better and kind of go, well, yeah, my day was crap, but I will be okay. I don't make this for poor me. I don't make this because I want to be famous. And I don't make this because meme culture or any crap like that. If I can do one positive thing on a platform, then I want to do this. I'll still do my reviews. Don't watch them. I'll still do them because it makes me feel happy. I'll still try and be funny to others because it's what I do. If I'm having a bad day, you're damn straight I'm not bundling on somebody. I'll talk to people who want to hear it after a while. Like my fiance, she always wants to listen to my problems. My brother, he wants to listen to my problems. And vice versa. That's a good thing to have. By making sure they're okay first, though. That's always my rule. Because once they're okay, I can be okay. But that's just who I am. I think I've rambled on far too much now. I'm not really making much sense. So I'm gonna end this video now. And maybe next time I'll talk about, I don't know what I'll talk about. But I do hope that this helps someone, something.